So stick around. Everybody wants to know, Bob, what's in this tool bag? Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay out all these tools on top of the bench, and I think you're going to be shocked at what I lug around with me on a daily basis. And then what I'm going to do is get back to basics, what I like to call Bob's basic tool list. For you homeowners who want to tackle your own home plumbing repair, I'm going to show you what you're going to need. So stick around, enjoy the show, and I will see you momentarily. Hey, welcome guys. This is Bob from bobsplumbingvideos.com, and what I'm going to do today is give you a tour of my actual tool bag. What I actually use is a Veto Pro Pac. That is a 0T-XL open top tool bag. Now I've gone the gamut through the the 5-gallon buckets with the interior sleeves with the pockets for the tools, but inevitably, everything would end up on the bottom. So I made the switch to the Veto Pro Pac, which in my opinion is the best tool pail on the market. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the camera off the tripod, give you a little exterior tour, and then I'm going to empty all my tools out, and then we're going to go over some tools I think you as a homeowner are going to need to make a basic toolkit for yourself. So let me stop this video, and I will do a pan shot of my bag all around. We'll get a little close-up of what's inside. Then I actually will empty everything out of the bucket, put it on the bench top, and show you what I go to work with each and every day. All right, so I'm going to give you a little view in both sides of my Veto Pro Pac tool bag. And I spoke to the people at Veto Pro Pac. This bag isn't specifically made for plumbers. I mean, it can be done for anything. This is one of their open top bags. I just adapted it to myself because I didn't like using buckets, 5-gallon buckets. And as you can see here, I have my my hacksaw is actually clipped onto there with a pair of vice grips, a pair of tin bending vice grips, because it just is a little too small to fit inside the bag. So I actually requested from Veto Pro Pac them exploring the possibilities of making a tool bag exclusively for plumbers. And I also inquired about maybe putting some type of wheels on here, because it does have the tendency of getting really, really heavy. Anyway, so this is one side, and I'm going to take all the tools out of it for you. This is one side of my tool bag, and what I'll do is I'll flip over the other side. Then I'm going to empty the bag out and show you what I actually carry in here. I think you'll be impressed with all the tools I have in here. So let's flip over to the other side. As you can see, I'm going to tilt this now. And as you can see, several pockets in here. You can put a lot of stuff in here. And let me just lean this down a second and show you that there are little zippered areas here where you can actually keep, you see that little zipper area there? It slides open. I have hacksaw blades in there, a little close quarter saw blades in there. And let me just see if I can swing this around and show you both ends of the bag, and I'll show you what I got clipped on there. So stay with me. I'll be right back. So here's one end of the bag, and as you can see, there's little pockets in there. You can put chisels, you can put pencils, you can put, anything you can think of. I got a little rig I set up, so I have my Teflon string to there. I also have a little sharpener there for my Leatherman tool. When my blades get a little dull, and you can see I have that little magnetizer. I can actually magnetize the tip of screwdrivers when I need to, or I can demagnetize them. So that's pretty cool. So let's jump around to the other side of the bag, and I'll show you what's on the other end. All right, here we are on the opposite end. As you can see, I have my tape measure. I have a little 1/4-inch drive socket there in the left side. I have a couple of tools that I got from American Standard that were supplied with some of their toilet bowls that I installed. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything out of this bag, lay it out on the bench, show you what I actually have, and then I'll break it down and show you, what you really only need as a homeowner if you're going to embark on plumbing repair yourself. So I will see you shortly, and let me lay all these tools out, and I think you'll find it very interesting, all the stuff that's in this bag. Okay, so here we are on the bench, and admittedly, I don't have a wide-angle lens here, so we're going to start from one end. But as you can see, I have a lot of stuff that I took out of this bag. I carry a lot of stuff in my bag. I mean, this is stuff I use every day, um, day in, day out, never fails. And so I'm just going to do a quick pan here to show you what I do carry. And as you can see here, I have my wrenches, my pipe wrenches. Maybe you didn't see that before because they were buried in the bottom. But I carry 10-inch pipe wrenches. I carry 8-inch pipe wrenches, 6-inch pipe wrenches. And as we pan up here, you're going to see my tin snips. I have a rule. I have a tape measure. I have several knives that I use. I have my channel locks, as you can see there. I have the old spool of plumber's lamp wick next to the Teflon tape. And as you can see, I have several screwdrivers. Most of those screwdrivers I actually use for chopping and probing with my hammer. Basically, I use them as chisels, actually. And you're also going to see I have a couple of close quarter screwdrivers. Let me pan down here. And as we come down, you're going to see I have chisels, several cold chisels. From medium ones to small ones. Those are my caping chisels for chopping out nipples. I have a saw there to probe holes in drywall. I have my torque wrench that I use to make up no-hub couplings. And we're going to pan over here, pan down a little bit. You're going to see I have a couple of awls to poke holes in things. I have my nut drivers, 5/16, 3/8 nut drivers. I have a tool, a strainer tool to screw tub strainers in and out with. Now this is what I carry in this bag. I have several bags, guys. There's another cold chisel. And as we come up, you're going to see that Lennox close quarter saw. That's very close to my heart. And there's my adjustable basin wrench, followed by a small number 1 tipped Phillips. I have slip joint pliers. I have several scraping knives, putty knives. You're going to see my tubing cutter, my large tubing cutter there. You see a pair of vice grips. There's my number 10 cutter for copper tubing. Another pair of slip joint pliers. I have this cool little adjustable tool that I bought online. It's called the Bionic Grip. And it's a pretty cool tool, comes in handy. I got my open end wrenches here, several open end wrenches. I have a tool by Rigid there. That's a pretty cool tool, which is going to be the second one in from the right. And I'm going to do a video on that one. That's a pretty cool tool that works well with the faucet and sink tool from Rigid. We're going to come down here, and there is my Lennox hacksaw and my pair of my tin bending vice grips. And let me step back here. I have several tool pails, guys. This is not the only one I use. This is the one I use basically on a daily basis for most plumbing repairs. I have one that I use when I'm diagnosing these wall-hung combi boilers. I have electric meters, etc., etc. I also have my Allen keys in there and stuff like that. And so this is what I carry on a daily basis in that bag that I showed you previous to this benchtop view. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate a lot of stuff and show you what you as a homeowner should have if you're going to embark on home plumbing repair. And trust me, it's not as many tools as you see there. And by the way, there's my seat removal tool. Let's not forget that if you're going to work on faucets. And I'll lay out a bare basic or Bob's basic tool list for homeowners that want to do their own plumbing. So stick around, guys, and I will see you shortly. All right, here's what I like to call Bob's basic tool list. Not too difficult. I feel this will get you by to do most basic home plumbing repair. A lot of people may say, hey, Bob, that's too many tools. Some of you may say that's not enough tools. Listen, guys, I've been doing this long enough. Trust me, this will get you by for whatever you need to get done. But hey, you want to buy less, buy less. You want to buy more, knock yourself out. Let's start with a hammer. Basic staple tool in any toolbox. Hacksaw, Absolutely, I wouldn't tell you to go out and buy tubing cutters, because tubing cutters are expensive, and you can put fine blades on here, coarse blades on here, medium blades on here, and they will get you by, and there's no need to get a tubing cutter in most cases. I have an 11-in-1 screwdriver here, but you most certainly can get a 4-in-1 screwdriver. Will work just well. You need, 2 flat tips, 2 Phillips tips will get you by to get the job done. Slip joint pliers, which is a staple in any repair tool bag. Adjustable wrench. I have 2 channel lock pliers here, a little smaller version with teeth, and I have a medium version without teeth, and I use that to grip onto chrome components where I don't want to scratch the chrome. Naturally, our Teflon tape. We have our Teflon impregnated pipe joint compound, my Mega Lock. I have putty here. If you're going to set faucets, you're going to need putty. You're going to work on faucet stems. You're going to need your waterproof silicone grease. This is my Slick and Slide. If you're going to work on stems, shower stems that are deeply embedded in tile walls, you're going to need a set of deep socket wrenches. Very important tools. Next, I have a seat removal tool. Now, this is a straight version. One side is hex, one side is square. They make a right angle version of this tool. It's a right angle version, but I prefer this one. I can just put it in the seat and I can give it a little whack on the opposite end. Gets the job done for me. I always have a pair of handle pulls with me, because sometimes the handles do not come off. And when they don't come off, I remove the screw, and I'll put this little stud where the screw belongs, and I'll proceed to turn this clockwise, and this will actually pull the handle off, kind of similar to a battery post puller for an automobile. Basin wrench. This is my rigid adjustable version. Now, you can get the stationary versions, which are much less expensive, but for me, this gets me up, especially behind those deep stainless steel sinks. Sometimes the basic version, you just can't get up there with a non-adjustable wrench. In terms of pipe wrenches, I carry 6, 8s, 10s, 14s. I would recommend, if you're going to buy one wrench, I would get the offset version, which is what you're looking at, which will get you into tighter spaces than a straight version. But I would get an offset version of a 12-inch wrench. It would be an E12. This is a rigid wrench. An E12 offset wrench will do you well. And finally, last but least, is either duct tape or electrical tape. You have occasions where, it's that time of day, the plumbing supply is closed, you got a leak under the kitchen sink, and that tubular tubing underneath the kitchen or bathroom sink, duct tape or electrical tape, you wrap it around there. That'll get you by until you can get to the supply house the next day or the home center. And last but not least, which I'm not showing here, is a tool bag. You can go out and get yourself a little cloth tool bag, a little tool bag. You can throw all the stuff in a tool bag, or if you're the type of guy or girl that likes the hard toolboxes, you can most certainly use a hard toolbox. And this is it, guys. This is, I feel, all you're going to need to do your most basic home plumbing repair tasks. What I'm going to do is, below the video, is I'll put a link to all these tools you see here, so you can go check it out for yourself. And that's it, guys. So I hope this enlightened you on some basic tools that you're going to need when you're going to go out and do your own home plumbing repair. And I want to thank you for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next segment. So there it is, guys, a personal tour of my Veto Pro Pac tool bag. Now, you know what? Back in the day, guys, I did use a 5-gallon bucket, but inevitably, when I needed to find a small tool, dump the bucket, put all the tools back in, then I needed a small tool again, repeat the process over and over again. I said there's got to be a better way. I started using some commercially available tool bags from the home centers, but they never lived up to my standards, always went back to the bucket. I then discovered Veto Pro Pac, never went back. Guys, check them out. I own 9 of their bags. Now, as far as Bob's basic tool list goes, it's my opinion that that's all you're going to need to get basic home plumbing repair done. Now, some of you may be saying, Bob, you need more tools, or you missed some tools. You know what, guys? With my experience and with what I know, what I laid out on that bench, in terms of Bob's basic tool list, is all you're going to need. So you know what I say? Go have at it. Save some money by not having to call the plumber, and then come back, check out some future videos. I got a lot of good stuff in the works. I appreciate everybody coming by and watching my videos. And like I always like to say, happy plumbing.